Welcome back to Microbial Concepts. Today's topic is capsule staining actually, but I decided to just talk about bacterial capsule first and then we will continue the main topic, that is capsule staining. Okay, so we had done about acid fast staining, that is Zielensel staining, then we had done gram staining also. So this is capsule staining. Okay, and later I will upload video on flagella staining also. Okay, so this is for first year students who are new to microbiology. Okay, so let's start with what is the capsule. Okay, bacterial capsule. Okay, so here you can see this is a diagram, simple diagram for bacterial cell. Okay, so you can see here cell wall is pointed out, outer section to the cell wall or outer part is the capsule. Okay, outermost part is the capsule, then comes the cell wall, then cell membrane or plasma membrane, then cytoplasm and other cell organelles. Okay, but this capsule is not present in each and every bacteria. Okay, there is a criteria to classify bacteria depending on capsule also. Okay, so some bacteria they have capsule and they are also known as capsulated bacteria. Okay, so mostly you will find some pathogenic bacteria, they bear this capsule. Okay, so like flagella and endospore, capsule is also considered as a cell organelle. Okay, so a capsule is what? It is a gelatinous outer layer which is secreted by the bacterial cell and that surrounds and adheres to the cell wall. Okay, it adheres to the cell wall, right? So most of the capsules are composed of polysaccharides, but some are composed of polypeptides also. Okay, so you will find one more term, that is slime layer. Okay, some bacteria they produce a sticky substance, or for example in case of some Klebsiella species, you will find that very sticky colonies are observed on isolation. Very sticky. You can see a thread-like structure once you touch the loop, your wire loop to that colony. Okay, it is very sticky. So that particular culture or that particular bacteria, you term it as it produces a slime layer. Okay, so there is a bit difference between capsule and slime layer. Okay, so the capsule differs from the slime layer that most bacterial cells produce in that it is a thick, detachable, discrete layer outside the cell wall. It means it can get separated. Okay, capsules they are tightly adhered to the cell walls. Okay, this is the difference, right? So capsule is also known as glycocalyx. Okay, so actually many of them they uh, call it as when the glycocalyx is tightly adhered to the cell wall, you term it as capsule, and when it is just present outside the cell wall, it is not that tightly attached to the capsule, then you term it as slime layer. Okay, so that is also a point that you will find or you will read in different articles. Okay, but just so you can remember that capsule is also known as glycocalyx. Okay, or glycocalyx is nothing but the capsule, right? So the polysaccharides may be of single type of sugars. Okay, as we had seen that the capsule is made up of polysaccharides and polypeptides. So in case of polysaccharides, the sugar can be single type, so you can also term it as homopolysaccharide, and if it is made up of several types of sugar, then you term it as heteropolysaccharides. Okay, the heteropolysaccharide is synthesized by sugar precursor within the cell. Okay, so particular precursor, if it is present in the cell, then that particular cell can produce heteropolysaccharides. Okay, the bacterial capsule is species specific and therefore they can be used for immunological differentiation of related species. Okay, they are species specific. That's why in some uh, examples of Klebsiella, which is the genus, you will find that some species of Klebsiella they produce capsule while some they do not produce the capsule. right? So amount of these polymers, they vary with bacterial species. So it is sticky in nature and secreted from the inner side of the cell wall, which gets firmly attached to the surface of the cell wall. Okay, so depending on these polymers or what type of the polysaccharide or sorry, what type of glycocalyx is, it depends. It also depends on the amount of that particular polymer. Okay, so it can be a capsule or it can be a slime layer. Okay, so capsule, it forms an envelope around the cell wall and can be observed under light microscope after special staining techniques. Okay, you will not uh, just say that the particular culture it has a capsule or not. Okay, you need to do capsule staining. A special staining technique is required, okay, to observe capsule. The presence of capsule may be detected by negative staining such as India ink method. Okay, so this is one of the method, but today we are going to talk on Manual's method, okay, or Manual's method, right? So there are different types of capsule staining techniques, but widely used is that is Manual's method. Okay, so before moving to that, just we will have a look on what are the functions of capsule. Okay, so as it is present towards the outer side of the cell, so it has to deal with some functions, so it has to perform some functions, right? Like protection, like protection from bacteriophages. Okay, so let's see. The capsule may prevent the attachment of bacteriophage. Okay, so bacteriophage you all know, so it also needs some attachment sites or receptors. Okay, so capsule may help to prevent the attachment of these bacteriophages. Then second is it protects the bacterial cell against desiccation, that is due to water loss or low water content, the bacterial cell, it kind of, we can say, dehydrates and cell death can occur. Okay, so it prevents the bacterial cell against desiccation at it is hygroscopic. Capsule is hygroscopic and it contains water molecules. Okay, so around 98% water content is present in capsule. Okay, so it may survive in natural environment due to its sticky property. So after attachment, they can grow on diverse surfaces. For example, plant root surface, human teeth, tissues, okay, rocks and fast flowing streams, etc. Okay, so as they have the capsules, they are sticky, so they help in attachment to substrate. So that substrate can be say human teeth or tissue or a plant root or leaf, anything. Okay, so once they attach firmly, they start growing. So even in case of biofilms, you will come across these polysaccharides. Okay, so there it is exopolysaccharide, but the function is bit same. Okay, so you can relate that. Okay, so they can inhibit the engulfment by WBCs. Okay, that is anti-phagocytic feature. Okay, capsule helps to inhibit the engulfment by the phagocyte. Okay, and therefore it contributes to virulence. As the bacteria skips phagocytosis, it starts showing its virulence factors. It starts producing or expressing starts expressing virulence factors, right? So it can easily contribute to virulence. So capsule protects from phagocytosis. For example, the capsulated strain of Staphylococcus pneumoniae causes pneumonia, while the uncapsulated strain is phagocytosized. Okay, so this makes a lot of difference, correct? So capsules as a source of energy, right? How? So in case of some starvation conditions, it is seen that Streptococcus mutans, it breaks down the sugars of capsules. Okay, as it has no source of energy left, it starts breaking down the sugars from the capsule and it uses that. Then next is capsule. It protects the cell from desiccation and maintains the viscosity and inhibits the movement of nutrients from the bacterial cell. Okay, so again it protects the cell. So these are some functions. So for Viva purpose, you may need to at least remember three or 4 functions, okay, out of these. So simple functions you can just remember and prepare for your practical exams. Okay, so what is the capsule staining method? So as we had seen, there is India ink method, then there is Anthony's method, then this Manuel's method. So there are 3-4 types, okay, but I think mostly or widely Manuel's method is taught in practicals. Okay, so if you have a different method or different technique being taught for your practicals and you want a video on that, then just comment below in the comment box, or you can reach me out on Gmail. Okay, so my ID you will find in description box, right? So let's start with this Manuel's method. So what all you required for this particular technique? So first is you require a 1% congruent solution, okay, or stain. Then you need Manuel's solution. Okay, so what Manuel solution contains, that I will uh, tell you in further slides, right? And thirdly, that is the bacterial culture. Okay, so as you are performing the practical, so mostly you will be given a capsulated bacterial culture. Okay, or if if in case you have this for your practicals, then don't be just sure that you will get a bacterial culture which has capsule. Okay, the examiner may think of playing a trick, so the examiner may provide you a non-capsulated technique also. Okay, so don't be just confident that yes, I have to perform capsule staining, so my result should show capsule, okay, or my slide should show capsules. Okay, so that is not the case in case of practicals. Okay, so means practical exams. So yeah, we will start with the procedure now. So take a loop full of, sorry, take a drop of 1% congruent solution on the slide, okay, and then mix one loop of bacterial culture to form smear. Okay, so using loop and your bacterial culture, you start mixing the congruent solution. So your culture and congruent solution will mix properly. You will try to form a smear. Okay, then allow that smear to air dry, right? Then add the Manuel solution onto that smear, and now allow that Manuel solution to react for 5 minutes. Okay, and after 5 minutes discard excess solution and air dry your slide. Okay, and now after 1-2 minutes, when your smear is properly air dried, you can observe your slide under oil immersion lens. Okay, so that is about the, so what you will observe. Okay, you will see, or you should see and observe something like this. Okay, a view from your microscope should be like this. You should get hollow uh, structures, okay, and inside that you should find some vegetative cells. Okay, so if you have a rod shaped bacteria, then you should see vegetative cells. In case of cocci, you should see cocci. Okay, so the pink rods are vegetative cells, and the hollow structure, that is the capsule. Okay, and background should be bluish. Okay, so these are some examples of capsulated bacteria, that is Bacillus anthracis, Klebsiella, Streptococcus, Neisseria, Clostridium, Rhizobium. Okay, so prepare examples which are easy for you to remember. So now you had learned that we use Congo red in our staining procedure, but still our vegetative cells are pink in color and the background is bluish, right? So something should be red, correct? So that is not the case. Why? So let's see what is the principle behind that, right? So we know that capsules are non-ionic in nature, so they do not get stained easily. So that's why we do negative staining method, or we use negative staining method. That means we will skip the part of staining capsule, but we will stain the vegetative cell and background. Okay, that is negative staining. So in this method we use Congo red stain, as it is acidic stain. It stains the background in red color. Okay, but the Manuel stain, it has acetic acid. Okay, so due to acetic acid, pH is shifted to acidic side, and due to which the Congo red stain, it turns red to blue. Okay, so this is the reason why Congo red, it shifts the color change from red to blue. Okay, that is why the background, it also changes from red to blue in color. Okay, so due to acid fuchsin, which is present in manual stain, our vegetative cells, they get stained in pink color. Okay, and to create a clear contrast in between cell and capsule, the background and cell, capsule and background, and due to which the capsules can be easily detected or seen, these are the contents of the manual stains which are very important and that are used. Okay, so it contains 10% FeCl3, which acts as chemical fixative. Okay, then 5% phenol is present, which increases the penetration power of stain, which means it acts as mordant. Okay, then it has acid fuchsin, which is basic dye that stains the vegetative cells. And last is acetic acid or glacial acetic acid. It decreases the pH of smear to acidic side. Okay, so the color change is red to blue, and it also acts as chemical fixative. Okay, so that is the reason that we don't hit fix our slides. Okay, as it has FeCl3 and acetic acid, which helps or which acts as chemical fixatives. Okay, so this is the reason why you see or you observe bacteria as pink, capsules as hollow or white structures, and background is blue. Okay, so this is the example of encapsulated bacillus species which was stained using manual capsule staining method. Okay, so yeah, so for practicals, if you want to remember some examples for capsulated bacteria, then here are some examples, or and you can remember by mnemonics. So just remember that smart kid had pretty nice cap or pretty nice capacity. Okay, so S stands for Streptococcus pneumoniae, then K for Klebsiella pneumoniae, H for Haemophilus influenzae, P for Pseudomonas aeruginosa, N for Neisseria meningitidis, and C for Cryptococcus neoformans. Okay, so these are some examples for capsulated strains. Okay, so yeah, that was for practicals. Now we will see for practical viva questions. Okay, so some easy questions you may get, and not only for manuals technique, for any other capsule staining technique you may find these common questions, that what is capsule, then what is the function of capsule, give some examples of capsulated bacteria. Okay, then other than this particular staining method, are there any other techniques or staining methods used? Okay, then what is the function of Congo red, or why Congo red stains what? Okay, so in this technique, Congo red, it turns red to blue and it covers the background. Okay, or it stains the background as blue to get a contrast effect. Okay, then last is why color change is seen in case of Congo red. So the answer is because of acetic acid, the pH, it changes to acidic side. Okay, and that's why the color change in case of Congo red is seen. Okay, so this was all about. Okay, so thank you for watching my videos, and like, share and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so if you need some videos on some other topics, then do mention it in comment box. Okay, I'm waiting for your comments, and please like my videos because it encourages me to make more videos and help you all. Okay, thank you.